Hello, this is James Arthurray, and welcome to Redemption, where we explore the psychology and the strategies to redeem your life, redeem your business, and take your power back. Let me ask you, have you ever driven across the desert on a dark night like I have? No street lights, no landmarks, just about maybe a 25-foot narrow headlight path in front of you. Have you been there? It can be frightening as you think about it right now, can't it? Now I'm curious, is there a metaphor here? Yes, I think there is. It's a metaphor about your business and relationships, a metaphor about your health. Well, it's a metaphor just about every single thing in your life. So, why is it with so little sight going across the desert, with so little information, you continue to drive forward? Why is it that you don't just stop and realize that a wild buck or a wolf or God knows what else might jump out in front of you causing havoc? Horror movies come to mind. Do you remember those? Dark desert, late night. Isn't there some degree of faith necessary to continue driving forward? Isn't there a higher realization that what can be observed than what can be observed only by your eyes? You bet there is. So you continue to drive, and foot by foot, the 25-foot span in front of you expands a little further and a little further and a little further outward, and you can see a little bit further. Are you with me? Why is it that we so often have such a difficult time doing this in our personal and professional lives? Why is it that we want to see the entire path illuminated ahead of us before we put ourselves into gear? Why do we hesitate? Fear. Fear is a monster that will steal your life if you allow it to. Please don't. We've all succumbed to this monster, haven't we? I know I sure have. Here are a couple of quick questions to ask yourself when fear rears its ugly head that I found that help me and the clients that I serve. Number one, what am I comparing this situation to in the past? You see, often we find that something in our past is being transferred into the present. You follow? The past does not equal the future. The past is past for a reason. And by the way, you are not the same person you were then anyway, are you? Question number two, what am I imagining might happen? Well, let me ask you this question. How many times have you imagined something horrible that never, ever comes to pass? Imagination, the image maker, is just something that you're making up in your own head. If you're making something up anyway, you might as well make up something that serves you. Doesn't that make sense? Question number three. Here's a good question. What if what I'm doing works massively? Now, this question combats the questions that we often ask, what if it fails miserably? Well, what if it doesn't? What if it succeeds massively? Bottom line, fear can be useful in the right space and the right context. It's a part of being human. Unfortunately, our fears are often completely unwarranted, in fact, more times than not, and are quite frankly coming from our formative years that have poisoned your unconscious mind. You see, 95% of what you do and don't do every single day is driven by your unconscious. And until we resolve our own trauma and unresolved emotional issues, we will remain forever stuck. This is a work in progress that never, ever ends. Believe me, I've been working on my own issues for the better part of 4 decades, and I will be faithfully working on my issues for the rest of my days. Let me help you to apply what I've learned. Let me help you to establish and to experience the breakthroughs that I've been able to help myself and others establish and experience. I found multiple things that work for me, as well as for over 1 million people from 146 countries around the world. I'd be honored to share them with you and help you with your own redemption. Visit my website, jamesarthurray.com, and you'll find a whole online resource library of videos, workbooks, downloads, and so much more. Entire learning systems. You'll find coaching opportunities where you can work one-on-one with me, space available. You can work with me in groups. You can work with me online. You can work with me and my wife, Bersabeh, 4 times a month, every single Thursday night, live via Zoom, with a group of growth-minded leaders from around the globe, where you get live coaching via Zoom every single week, all for less than $5 a week. Yeah, that's correct. You heard that right. And if you miss a session, not to worry, because we record all of them. We put them into a library online, and you have full access to that library 24/7 for as long as you're a member. So you're not going to ever miss anything. It's called Project Stay Home. Check it out. Visit jamesarthurray.com and check out the other things we've discussed, as well as many things that we don't have time to discuss. You'll be grateful when you do. I want to thank you for a couple of moments of your day, and until we touch base again, as always, be a leader, live your purpose, and take your power back. Have a masterful day.